To use SculptGL, open a web browser and type in the address bar sculpt.gl and hit enter. And it will take you right to this program. Now we want to start with a plain human head, so the first thing we want to do is get rid of this sphere. So we can click on Scene and then delete selection. Now we can go over to Files Import and add STL, the first option. Now you'll use the human head STL file that you downloaded from the class Brightspace page. We'll go ahead and upload that. And there it is. So with my mouse outside of the model, if I click and drag, I can move around, rotate around the model. I can use 2 fingers to swipe up and down to zoom in. But if I touch the model and drag, then it will deform the surface. So your brushes are over on the right-hand side here. If you click brush, you have some other options: inflate, twist, smooth, flatten. Feel free to explore any and all of these things. If you make a mistake, you can always go up to history. Well, I don't have any history, but there's an undo option there. So let's say I make a mark, which I just did. You can't see it because it's very light, but if I choose history and I can undo, oops, I undid too many steps. Re-import my model. Okay, we've got our human head. So you saw I used the brush, but you couldn't even see the mark that was on it. So to change that, I'm going to increase the radius and the strength of the brush, and now start clicking and dragging, and you can see that it's making a more noticeable effect. I might strengthen it even more because I'm not going for subtlety here. I'm creating an alien, a monster, so I want to make some major deformations here. My screen is automatically set on mirror mode, which you generally want when you're creating a creature like this. You want whichever changes you make on one side to be mirrored on the other side. If that option is not selected by default, you can toggle on and off on the right-hand side where it says symmetry. You can turn symmetry on and off. So when I hold down, the shift key, you can see that the tool automatically changes to smooth. And I'm going to put all of those way up and hit the shift key. Hit the shift key first and then put smooth all the way up and try to decrease that nose a bit. Okay. Now I'll use the brush, maybe not quite so strong, to sort of fill in that nose area, make it look more alien. Give it like an alien slit mouth. Furrowed brow. We can try some other brushes too. Let's try inflate, and we'll bump that all the way up so we can see what's happening. Okay, oh, there we go. I'm getting a much more pronounced effect here. Let's say I want to bring that chin, or that jowl fillet way down there. Okay, and I can work on the back, give it a nice pronounced spine, build out some muscles here. Might want to flatten the ears, smooth them out a little bit. Let's try drag. So that is, well, I don't care for that. So I'm going to go up into history and undo those steps. What if I maximize drag? One thing I might want to do is pull this material down here at the bottom so that when I bring my model into the slicer, I'll have plenty at the bottom to cut away and make a nice flat bottom. All right, so I'm adding all this material because I'm planning to cut it right around here across this line. And I'd like to have enough material at the bottom that I can make that horizontal cut wherever I wish. Let's try move. That's, again, that's not exactly something I care for. Let's see what I can do with the ear by moving. Oh, I can push it in, sort of. Or just give it an odd shape. A little too much. Undo. Okay, that's kind of a distinctive ear. I might want to, let's try inflate again. Let's see what we can do here. That's a big bulbous protrusion there. All right, let's try moving again. And I'm going to increase that way up and see if I can kind of flatten the front of the head here in a kind of odd shape. So you can add horns, you can make it as deformed as you wish. When you're done, choose Files, and then we want to save as STL, save.stl. And the file is downloaded. And if I go to my downloads, I have a file here that is called Your Mesh 2. And it looks very odd in the preview window. But if you open Flash Print, and then File, Load File, Downloads, Your Mesh, Open. Do you want it on the platform? Yes. Do you want to repair the model? Yes. It's repaired. Okay. So let's maximum scale it so we can see what it looks like. All right. It's rotated, so we can click on Rotate and rotate. Probably don't want it this big. So I'll choose scale, and let's say 80 millimeters for a good test size. Now if I scroll, rotate the print. So I can see the bottom. I see that it's red there, uneven surface, which is not flat against the bed. So I need to click cut, horizontal cut, choose how much material you want to cut away. This is why I left all of that excess material at the bottom. Click start cut, choose the piece you want to delete, choose edit, delete. Click the remaining piece, move on platform, center. Now I look at the bottom, it's nice solid blue. We see there's also some red there, which indicates that I probably should use some supports. And that would be a good idea. We know how to do that. We'll click supports, auto supports. Now, while we're still in supports, we can rotate around the model and see if there are any extra ones that we want to add, or if there are too many supports and we want to take some away. But those generally look okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click back, start slicing. And remember, with supports, I like to increase the space to model X and Y from 0.35 to 0.45, increase the space to model Z from 0.2 to 0.3, and add 2 top layers, top solid layers, and click slice, and slice preview. So the space to model X and Y is that gap there. We want to make sure that there's plenty of room so that the supports aren't sticking to the side. You can see it better here. So the support isn't actually sticking to the side of the print. That'll make it easier to remove. 2 hours and 39 minutes. Now we can print our model and take a photo of your printed model and post the photo and a screenshot from SculptGL to the class discussion topic.